Senga Acid nkulopera real quick. Black Sugar yafunyeyo omuvubuka omusiyazi. Black Sugar ndi wano kuwoninga ntola anti oli straight yakumenya omutima. Omusiyazi yojja mwekuuliramu sinamulago. India bajja kuteekamu obusomyo. Mukwano omusajja goliko maada bamuvuunika botomu. Botomu mu community ene waffe tumumanyi. Alinga oyo ne mala bajjako ettaala bagenda amasanyazi gagenda okuddanga ali busy ali bwati nimoti yali ludda wambala genga babamodo byabagambye nga ali busy ali bwati mukwano totawana tewesembereza Black Sugar mada jangu tukunyiga ebiwundu naye ennaku zino oligo bakyawanga afunayo akavubuka akasiyazi abasiyazi bevumbidde omuze gwokukola gw'okuhiiringa wunduzi z'aba straight. Black Sugar oyo muvubuka woyina obanga wamufunya akuwonyewonya akujjanja akunyigenyiga ebiwundu mada wadde mukomera.
Black Sugar soka omuleke alina ebizibu bye. She's being confronted by a lot of internet vultures. Zubeda kati mulaba Zubeda buli wana akola ekintu n'ekyogerako bajagamba mbola okuba muwalana. Zubeda bannange si muwalana. Zubeda is my brother lwakuba munnange twayomba naye Zubeda mwana wa sitaani alinga nze naye era mweka mbabuulire inze okustandinga n'abantu abamu standinga ne Zubeda lwakuba kati tukyerinako embeera. But I know with the time era nze sisobola kulaba kintu n'ensirika by the way mu abantu abali eyo abanda bagwenga olowooza mbunze mpala na Zubeda nje nagenda Uganda muwa akantu
okitegeera ekintu ekyo
ne kati Zubeda sikyasobola muwa akantu mukwano gwa Bakaluba nyinza omuwa address najja ne Bakaluba naye ate nyinza omuwa akantu nga ndi ne ba bodyguard bantu Bakaluba nekisooka kisembera ne bakiyiwa ebinnyo n'olyokola
nange mwe byana bya sitaani mwe Vivian Prince munsindikire sente mulekerawo okwesiriwaza munda bandi Uganda sente zaweddewo munsindikire
beba kutumayi
mukwano Senga Acid then twawule emikwano bali befula bakyali bange what is friendship for mukwano bamwe bantu basimu abantu masente nazinywedde muwala nyongere endala nnyo wala mulekerawo okukola
friendship is not about you making your expensive decisions and we have to comply nedda mukwano
kijja kusoboka mukwano mulina contribute ngenda kunywa biru nzibasindikire mmwe bikonkome mmwe yes kati mwagala bankwatire Uganda bangambe nsasula
ye mugagga fetuveko
omugagga wange namulabye mwali era by the way omugagga wange nkulamusizzaako nnyo
mugagga mugambe kapale amubanja mugagga mugambe kapale amubanja ebibiri yamusuubiza olusanvu n'amuwa 5.
Let me clear this.
Don't clear it. It's not your battle. Don't clear it. Not here.
Omanyi lwaki Senga mbadde njalo kyogera.
Not clearing it here. When they are busy here mukwano nenda kukujjako tukimusu.
Complete Senga sigena kwogera ku nsonga lwaki mbadde njalo kyogerako sigena kukyogerako mbadde nkugamba oyo kapale beyajja mu America nze eri agenda nomuwa amannya aganga akoleremu kapale yesiruwaza tugende mu maaso.
That is good. So back to tubaddeko Kuteesa is a homophobic person. We don't think he was aware that is going on. How can a worker that knows that their boss does not tolerate any gay activities, that their boss is very homophobic and the worker has the confidence to molest a child under the mentorship program.
Senga, I can reliably confirm to you nti oyo musajja tali homophobic. I can reliably confirm to you that he is not homophobic.
I don't know. I have been told that he is very, very homophobic. Inti n'abaana abaliyo bagamba inti Mr. Kutesa is very homophobic. Yenze abuuza. Linda Koham. Yenze, this question I'm leaving it to you. Yenze abuuza mwe abandaba. How can, because omuntu eyakinyonyonyodde yangambye tekisobokera ddala inti mwami Kutesa yali akimanyi inti ba abusing abaana abalenzi, because ye mwenyini he's very, very homophobic. He does not stand that shit. Yenza abuza, if the children are aware that that guy is homophobic and he can do anything to a gay person, where does a counselor? You guys, this is not a cook. This is not a cleaner. This is a counselor. This is a counselor. This is a counselor. Do you know who a counselor is? A counselor, to be confident, a counselor being employed by an extremely homophobic person. To be employed by an extremely homophobic person, but the counselor still has the balls to go ahead and sexually abuse a boy. Confidence eyo ajijawa, because chingambye she made it to seem like inti Kutesa nebwa unyiriza inti oliga yinza nokukusalaka akasolo. How come the counselors bazina abana? Koja extra abuza. Do you mean a counselor or koja extra? I cannot speak your kind of English. I'm saying a counselor. So you can interpret it in whichever way. I know people know what I'm talking about. Yes, Keisha. Like I said, I'm not going to make unconfirmed allegations. But me, I know that the most homophobic people are gay closeted people. Because if a person is gay and I'm not, why the fuck am I even bothered? Why would I go there? I hate them. I do kakati. Okay, kakati mwe abandaba. Kakati mwe abantu abandaba. If you're not gay, mwe abantu abandaba, are you bothered that a person is gay? Are you? Yeah, man.
Oli bothered, oli musiyaz.
If you're bothered,
oli bothered.
If you're bothered, why are you bothered about how the other person uses their private parts? You know? But closeted gay people, bagala nyaku spreading a homophobia so that fingers don't point at them. Thank you, Shamsa. If you want to know a closeted gay man being homophobic, please go and watch Beauty in Black. You will understand what I'm talking about. If you're bothered, you deny.
Yes.
I'm telling you. Actually, is the one thing that I know straight men don't even want to associate with gay boys because of society. They don't hate them. They just don't associate with them. Simple.
Era senga nkuloopera kweyo point Rama yagana okundaba. Rama yagana okundaba yagamba hambe banandaba nawe.
Mugambe. Olaba hamu, olaba wano. tuteekako emiramu abaho ne bajja. Kabaata n'agamba gwe otuula n'abasiyazi because Kabaata is a closeted gay man. He wants that if we ever say he's gay, bagambe Kabaata tasobola nga tayagala abasiyazi.
Nenga fa bamumanyi tumumanyi.
Of course.
Yes.
But Rama refused to meet you because he does not want people to point, but Rama isn't bothered that you're gay. He's not bothered.
I know. Nangamba hamu olaba abaana bajja kutandika balasama ebintu ebyekisiru kati. Ne mugamba tewali buzibu bw'amanzi. Yeah.
Okitegeera. If Rama was gay, yandi ku meetings. Era Ham, I want you to know that the personality that you exhibit on the internet, straight men, however much they like you, they fear associating with you because they don't want society to label them.
Okay. Yeah. And I understand that's why nako buzibu.
Tebasobola gwe nakuda mubakufula ensonga mbo oli musiyas, nobody even gives a damn about it.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah,
kankuwe neno gundi. For example, I'll give an example of abantu bafe like abali common. Kasuku, yeah? He's a straight man. He has a platform, you know?
Yeah.
I've never seen Kasuku ngari obsessed over. Abasiyazi this. Abasiyazi doesn't give a damn. Mwamumanyi.
Era abiyitako bisinagamba nakuzina abasiyazi bangi buli wamu.
Kati buli gwolaba abesibyeko. Buli gwolaba abesibyeko. Because they don't want until when their name finally comes out, people to believe it. That's a closeted gay. Thank you. Closeted gay people.
Kabaata. Mwe mutubulireyo girlfriend wa Kabaata, mutubulireyo mwana wa Kabaata. Mwali mulabyeko yadde n'omulema. Naye mukwane no mu community ne tukugamba list. Oja Kabaata botomu bano ba all strong botomu.
Waliyo omuntu omulala omusiyazi. Avumirira abasiyazi ate pastor.
Zembadde mmanyi gundi
oyo omusajja enjiri ye yonna okuva mande paka mande mwaka ku mwaka abulira abasiyaga kubisiyaga.
Nenga kichenyo.
All the time. Tali kubulira inti munange katonda obubita ebisiyaga. Any person that is obsessed with ebisiyaga.
Abali mu ekibeera.
Wait.
Ekikigwe.
Ina gundi je njagalo baleetera.
Mama Flower, my sister, nkutumiddeko. Tukwagala nnyo genda maaso n'obulumi.
Mama Flower nkulopera mentorship camp ya Kuteesa. Esiyaga abaana it abuses abaana.
Ekikigwe.
Mulindeeko nina gundi je njagalo baleetera. Waliwo omuntu gwe bansi.
Iye direte. Tori kabada mada okolera abantu. Iye. Mutapingera ivumwe bikonkome mmwe. Atamanyi Mama Flower genda omubuuze nnyoko.
Namwe abazadde abatwala abaana ekisooka nze nabagamba ebintu ebimusijja kubyogerako because when I talk about them bajja kugamba I am attacking people's no. Naye mwami Kuteesa, your mentorship camp is going to be as a learning aid. Is it called learning aid? A specimen. Wait. There is something I want to waliwo abakinsindikidde naye maama. I didn't open it to okuwulira.
So is Godfrey Kutesa a sadist, a man who tortures young boys because he's a sadist? I don't agree. And I'm watching on Twitter today a debate here in Uganda. People were complaining about Godfrey Kutesa's program, that in his boys to men program, that somehow it's too hard, too difficult. Waking boys up at 4 in the morning, making them to do military drills, and having grown-up men train them. I think, first of all, we do have a problem here as a country. We have a problem of family. You know, we have marriages breaking down. We have boys who have been raised by mothers and they don't know how to be men because the fathers are not there. Even I grew up without my father, and
Clearly.
I know it was hard. So we're provoking a debate on Godfrey Kutesa's work. It provokes a bigger debate about the state of the family in Uganda and the problems we do have. One of it is especially highlighted of single mothers who are raising sons, and even parents who are raising sons, and they really are having difficulty. It's the older generation having difficulty raising a new generation who are raised on tabs and phones, and really they have not had a chance to go outside, to look after cows. You know, they are in the digital world. They are not analog. They're not like growing up in the old school. I remember having to wake up early. I remember having to take cows in Navugavo, my uncle's home, to take cows to eat grass and go to the well. I mean, the African existence is just that, okay? So we're having this debate being provoked. And to me, it highlights an issue. It's not so much about Godfrey Kutesa. I think he's trying to do his best in meeting a gap that is there on parenting and family. What is that gap? The gap is that there's the absence of training for parents on how to train, on how to do marriage, how to do family life. Parents are also not being supported, okay? We've gone through so much from HIV/AIDS, wars, political turmoil. There's just so many economic difficulties of trying to make it. So, I think Godfrey is trying to make, he's trying to help people out. Let's let him do. Everybody can do what they can. But I'm watching the response of women, especially they get shocked to hear that, oh, you have to do this kind of military drills to teach boys to become men. Yeah, men.
A boy to become a man does not have to be abused. No. A boy to become a man, he doesn't have to be abused. You don't have to be subjected to physical and mental torture to become a man. That's why the men that went through that are the Sempas, are the Kutesas, and guys, it's a different fucking generation. Yes, toxic masculinity. Dabakaluwazi bebo. A woman? Yeah? A woman? You talk to me like that? To become a man? Why are we raising people to become men? We should be raising people to become better people. No, tell me a reason why you're a mentor and an abused child cannot trust you. That means you're failing at your job. Guys, am I communicating? That means you're failing at your job as a mentor. The child has to look up to you. You must be approachable. If you were not aware that this abuse was taking place, then you have failed as a mentor. If you knew and you kept quiet, still you have failed. So, Mr. Kutesa, there is a problem. I know you must be here watching me. If not, I know this is gonna come and reach you. Like I said, you started off with a beautiful dream. It's not a dream anymore. It's a horror. It's a drill. It's a drill now. The dream is a shattered dream. Those boys come out worse than how they entered. The stories in that camp, they are untold. Please note, there is something I want to address. Someone approached me after I put out that video and they said, Senga Acid, I don't think that Kutesa knew about this abuse because Kutesa is one of the most homophobic people. Even the students that have been there, they say Kutesa is very, very, extremely homophobic. And he said, there is no way. And the person that approached me said, there is no way. He knew and he kept quiet. Now, I want to address this. I don't mean to point fingers, but 80%, more than 80% of homophobic people, they are gay people in the closet. So they become so homophobic that nobody will point a finger. Okay? I'm telling you. Because I'll say this point blank. If you are not a gay man, you don't even give that attention. Like, what? He's gay? Okay, whatever. I'm not gay. I don't care. I don't give a damn. You know? But when you're a closeted gay person, you pay attention. And I want people to listen to me today. Sexual orientation is a big problem we are having in society today. Whether you want to address it or not, it's a big problem. Gay people are out there in society, young and old, and the elderly even. Abato n'abakulu. You cannot start torturing a person because they are identifying as gay. You cannot do that. Nope. You are not solving the problem. You are not. If you are talking, I want to first give this asshole a block. She will come back in a different account. Thank you. You know? Even if a boy was gay, how do you take a gay boy to a mentorship camp to a person that is not gay? Kambuzi. How would you even start having conversations about that? Inti abalis. I don't know. I don't even get it. I don't. Because I'm sorry, I'll say this. I'll say this. It will take 1,000 years to uproot Emberaza LGBTQ out of Joshua. It will take 1,000 years because even when he was carrying out that interview, I saw all of you, your eyes were judging. You wanted to say something about
it. The travel rainbow flag, the travel rainbow flag,
you know? So I want parents in Zenganzi. I am tasking that guy, Kutesa, to address this. Because by the time Joshua came out, okay, guys, Joshua came out and talked. Has Kutesa made any post about Joshua? Answer me, I'm following about Twitter. Has he? Has he come out to talk about it? Nope. Isn't he aware that Joshua was actually in his mentorship camp? Wanji? Wasn't he aware that Joshua was in his mentorship camp? He's aware. What did he say about it all? Because that is the only membership camp omwana oyo gy'abaddemu. Really, as parents watching me today, if Joshua was in the same mentorship camp, is your child safe? And like I told people, this is not about Joshua no more. No, this is not about Joshua anymore. This is not about Joshua anymore. This is about children of Uganda. And this is not happening only. This is not only about Ekisiyaga. This is not only about that mentorship camp. Ladies and gentlemen, people are having sex with their children. Men are having sex with their sons in Uganda. Men are having sex with their stepsons. Men are abusing their stepsons.
Yeah.
This is not only about the mentorship camps, guys. Waliwo omwana yazze mu inbox. I even want to break down and I cry when I'm talking about this. I'm telling you. Omwana yazze nangamba Senga. After embozi ya Joshua nakulabye ng'ogyogerako. Nangamba, I come to you with a heavy heart. Nangamba tugambireko abazadde basingle mother. Abava mu maka g'abataata baffe and they remarry elsewhere. Bagambe basajja baabwe batwebakako. I swear I felt so sad. Let me show you. Omwana nagamba, tell our mothers out there, we cannot confront them, we cannot tell them, but their husbands are sleeping with us. When we tell them, they don't listen to us. They think we are problematic children. We don't like their boyfriends, but their men are abusing us. Let me show you.
Anti Senga, mama wonga chosen Becky, oba olina okubonaabona. Abazadde nga chosen Becky tasobola kubirivingira mwana, abirivingira musajja.
Wait.
Ate Senga nekira njala okuloopera Senga nze ali Uganda. Senga Ekisiyaga Kisusse Uganda bannange government mubeko kye mukolawo bannange Ekisiyaga kitabuse bannange Ekisiyaga bwotuna bannange Senga Acid Minister of Gender must intervene mu zino ensonga bannange Ekisiyaga kitabuse bannange buli wotunula buli wodde Kampala buli kona buli Kabala Senga Acid abana balinga balina ba sponsor bannange abana batabuse abana maso gali mu ngalo abana bonna
that gondi mwana yangambye nempulire nnako. Wait, let me.
Senga nkugambye Senga weta gofuga eggwanga lino but least week bannange Senga eggwanga liweddewo tewakyali straight Senga no Kampala onoonya omuntu straight n'akubula bannange bawalasi balenzi si baki bannange bakazi bafumbo bannange abakazi buli bantu batabuse bannange Senga simanyi eggwanga lino wajeriraga temulaba nti ki bannange envumulira omuze gw'Ekisiyaga n'esafumulira mu Kampala.
Omwana yagambye nempulire ennako.
Bannange Minister Balamu okola ki bannange Ekisiyaga.
Omukyala yazze nangamba Senga. Ulira hamu. Waliwo omukyala yazze nangamba Senga ndi mufumbo. Owulira? Nangamba okuva omusajja lwe yampasa omusajja nzina mu kabina.
Ekyo kigwe?
Nangamba Senga, I'm scared of leaving him because omusajja yangamba if I ever leave and I talk about it ajja kunkuba amasasi. Bawe musirikale. aga Katonda ne mubuuza mulina abaana nangamba Senga abaana n'abazaala ntyango omusajja nzina mu kabina wallahi billahi
eremwe kiki ekiri mu bbina bannange bbina litabuse mu Kampala kiki
tumuwulire
bannange kiki ennyo Uganda muve muntu nnyonnyole kiki bannange omuze gw'okuzina omuntu abukidde amabina Minister Bala muvaayo obeeko kyokola abaana batono bakweza myaka 18 obasanga beri ebise bannange Senga nkubuulire nze ali ku ground nkugambye ground biralamuko abaana bannange batabuse bawedde bannange buli mwana
mbalage here
bannange baba modo mujje tulwanyisa omuze guno bannange Kisusse guli out of control when you say this is serious bannange Senga nabadde mu kyalo obwana bwaba basista bange bonna.
Hello Senga, I have been compelled to send this message out of grief. So much anger that has brewed in me for so many years. Kindly conceal my profile. But if possible, talk to women who could know with their children in new marriages. So many of our stepdads Hey, bannange ate gundi y'omwana njiraze nange nnoba nabaaki. So many of our stepdads have done the worst to their stepchildren and left free. You can kindly voice something about women to stop trusting their children around the new partners. These have broken so many of us that healing might never happen. That healing might never happen. Good day, Senga. Abana bazze banji. Abazadde. Abandaba, bamama, batata, we want the best for our children. Please make sure wotuto mwana wo tavaayo nga ali worse. Omwami oyo kuteesa yakuba Joshua. Ekyo omuntu eyakingambi alina mu kampu eyo. Yakwata Joshua n'amuteeka omutwe mu magulu n'amukuba beyond recognition. Kambuzemwa abantu abandaba. If society has a group of youth nga baba abusing Senga Joshua, I want to applaud that boy for the grace he carried when addressing that. Okay? When he was addressing that and narrating his story, I'm sorry to say, people think that boy is healed. He's not. It's just the beginning. It's just the beginning.
Ansabayo ka moment.
Get up.
Naye ate nammwe bannange baabotomu mulimba omusajja kuba ate nakutuusa kweyegundi mukwano sigala mwako obusajja nze olaba SengaAcid n'ekiba kimukwana ak'obukiga tekasobola nakunvaamu mukwano omputula nkutula.
This was a child, not
a big guy.
This was batandika kumwabusinga nga ali mu P4
okumukuba ebyo bye bamuteeka mu magulu ne bamukuba. Mbadde mmanyi yali mukulu. Mbadde ntabusenga ninga baba botomu nabo bekola ebintu. Baba botomu ne baddawo neefula nnyo omukazi ne bamukuba n'aguma mukwano omusajja bwakuba naawe mukuba ekyobuna mulume kekifi. Omulekeko sayini. Yes. Akimanye nti kino ekifu kyavaako lwakukolaki lwakumanyira botomu wange. Mukwano tokkiriza kubeera mada fule sigala mwako obusajja akanawutula omusajja munayagala okumanyira ebyo mbwa kwa abusing amuwa obutwafu aveewo we will understand tujja ku defendinga. Yes.
Nachinoka nkyogere kuteesa nzenga Senga Acid. Njogera ebintu abantu ne banvuma okunanagira. Kutesa, if you don't listen to what I'm saying today, ojja kubeera n'omulambo ku kampu eyo. Someone will die in your hands.
Senga Kutesa ona minister kwetumanyi.
Nawe sirika totuza mabega. If you don't know what we are talking about, keep quiet. Naye abazadde abantu abandaba. Gw'omuzadde eyakwata omwana wo n'omusindika ewa sengaawe. Nga sengaawe alinako. Ekinnuma ennyo. Bino ebintu, they are not happening in poor families. These things are happening mu maka amanene agalina ku ssente agategeera. But because of the leadership in our countries, people cannot talk about these things. Because a person has power, because a person works in government, because a person aline mundu, because omuntu akola mu maje, because omuntu mugagga, because omuntu. These things are happening. Program ya Kutesa echarginga million 3 kitundu. That cannot be afforded by a poor person. Imagine paying 3.5 million to have your child get PTSD. Million is that. That cannot be afforded by a poor person or your tuition. We makerere. That's tuition. So abazadde abandaba. We want better for our children. Banyankole have a saying, Oashwera buza. Oashwera buza. Oashwera ajrach abuza. Naye bantu bange. There is abuse in Kutesa's camp. That mentorship program is not a mentorship program. It's a torture program. Gwengo olino omwana nga yakutama. Ngoyagala omusikalinga obwongo bwe mutwale wa Kutesa.
Masenga nzudde Kutesa mutegedde onakola kubavubuka ku balenzi bokka.
Oyo
mama ye. Game over. Kansirike bannange mundekeze.
Chirala. Realistically speaking, gwe omuzadde andaba. How do you mentor your son in a space of only boys, young and teenagers? How? Tukaseseko obwongo. Your son or your daughter has to be able to live in a community or a society where they know how to deal with themselves and the opposite sex, like different, like you cannot know. A boy is not gonna know how to deal with the ladies if only he knows is dealing with the boys. And if it is that is why Ekisiyaga bisinga mu single sex schools. Am I communicating? Am I communicating?
You're only communicating. Okuba kunyama.
My daughter, era kambabulire. Again, I like giving examples on my own self. My daughter, Omukulu, yangamba, Mami, I want to go to Notre Dame. It's a single girls' school. And I'm like, why? Like, it was weird. Nangamba, Mami, boys are bullies. Because yali avamu elementary school that is mixed. Nangamba, Mami, boys are bullies. And I'm like, well, okay, that's what she wanted. Mutwala eraja somera. No, when Mutwala Uganda, she wanted a single girls' school. And I did. because already she has dealt with boys, you know. No, mu in her elementary school. Era pakakati Tyra agamba banange mami, girls are toxic. Abeda like ngajang banange mami. There is this girl bikale like nganga banange mami, girls are toxic banange bwatyo. But I'm happy that many experience of a mixed school and a single school. Kati ye Amira yangambira wa mami sagala single girls school ne mubuza lwaki nangamba Tyra yangamba abaana bali toxic ne mugamba okay because where she is it's a mixed, you know, like a mixed, but then also because of her sister's experience yagamba era bwe yali anonya nagamba mami sagala
nze ndi team Ami mixed
katika mbuze omuntu andaba okwata otyo omwana wo omulenzi who is a teenager, maybe 10, 11, 12, 13, because it's from what are the ages? 10 to 17, 10 to 17. A teenager that is dealing with all these hormones, that is dealing with all these feelings, chances are raised by a single mom, kati aliawo in a space where they are trying to discover who they are, what life is, you know, the times where a boy is getting wet dreams and shit like that, you're putting them only under fellow boys. What are you fucking expecting? What are you expecting? Because at that age, at the kids of today, balala muko
baina hormones zilibe active ku myaka emito
hormones zino obwongo bwabwe
bali sharp
bw'okwata omwana I can understand omwana nga that is why abasiyaza abasajja bannakinku
ndi kulayo
bava muki single boys schools omuzadde andaba mbadde nkusaba omwana wo muwe experience of both mixed and
yes, alire obwo kirisalawo kubeera kisiyazi kibeere kisiyazi naye nga wakiwa options.
Nakino kankigamba abantu abandaba tosobola kukuba mwana n'omugyamu obusiyazi. Tosobola bw'abanga musiyazi ne bw'omutta.
Ajja kubirya.
Ne bw'omusalako akasolo. Waakiri ajja kusinkana omulenzi amukube kiss.
Yes.
Tulina abaana twali ku ssomero tulina abaana abakubanga bawala bannaabwe engalo olwaleero they are happily married women n'ebisiyaga tebabirinako because it's not in them. Alina amatu awulire. I don't want to okukyeyongerezaayo because abantu bagenda gamba promotinga ebisiyaga bannange si promotinga bisiyaga nedda nayo muzadde yenna andaba ekisooka mmwe abannayuganda abandaba tonsuubira nze kujja waneeno ntandike okuvuma bannange abasiyazi baffe no. First of all, I live in a country where everyone is free to express their sexuality in any way. Mwagala nze mukatinge out obuntu mungobese ku mulimu tekijja kusoboka.
Senga nyina kenjalo yisaawo kalutu cause kensuubira nze nga nze senga Uganda balina this mentality nti only girl child yabeera abused. Tebakimanyi nti amwana w'obulenzi n'ennaku zino actually guno mulimu gwe tulimu omwana w'obulenzi yali ku high risk ey'okubeera abused naddala sexual abuse. Mwabazadde mukitegeere
is not only sexual. Abazadde mwenna abandaba. Your son might not have been touched, but your son is abused. Your son has a stone cold heart. Mukwowu. And abuse has to be looked at a broader perspective. I will still talk about Henry Mwanje. I can talk about Henry Mwanje until kingdom come. Henry Mwanje yakwata omwana yali omuto ngalina emyaka 12. Namutwalanga mu bbaala namugulira wiigi n'obukondo kiki kye yali amentalinga omwana oyo okubeera.
Yes, abuse, mental abuse.
Olwaleero lwaki muvuma Bianca olwaleero nga an adult is walking on the streets of Kampala nenga that adult yakwatanga omwana oyo namuwa lipstick namuwa wiigi namwambaza obuleega agende mu bbaala ekiro amansule. Why is a Ugandan abusing Bianca when Henry Mwanje is walking freely and still being looked at by Ugandans as a sensible person? How? Muliawo mwana mumubola mumuvuma. That boy was groomed by somebody to be that. Lwaki yamwambaza empale lwaki yamwambaza empale n'enkofiira ne sneakers amayiminge ennyimba za Baraka Joshua? Why? Abazadde, I get it. Parenting is hard. I get it. I'm a parent myself.
Naye ani azaala Bianca bannange bazadde ba Bianca baafa.
That is not important.
Anti Senga munnange twali tubabuuza omwana wamwe yatuuka atya okubeera ne Mwanje like where were you?
Ensonga eyo nenda kwogera n'ebbala buli mwana ali mu kampu ya Kuteesa bamukebera akabina.
Kigwe
bamukebera akabina.
Onda wange.
Bakwata Bianca ataliko wadde abazadde ataliko wadde ki? Ne bamutwala ne bamukebera akabina. We now have a witness. Agamba bamwabudde
report.
Bazadde ba Joshua kano kammwe.
Ale Joshua bamukebera akabina.
Koko sirike. Bazadde ba Joshua kano kammwe. This is not about Joshua. And if abusers are not outed, Joshua's interview ceases to make sense. If abusers are not outed, Joshua's interview ceases to make sense apart from wanting to go viral. Because if he does not want to out, what is the point of talking? Because right now, we are pointing fingers at everybody. I was pointing fingers at everyone. Everyone, until when I went back, I listened to that interview word per word, and I got initials GK and a mentorship program of a 1 GK. After I did that, I still went and did due diligence to different people that know him, that know. And they said, yes, the boy was in that camp. Why are you still protecting the fucking abusers? What's the point of speaking up then? Mama wa Joshua yampandikidde message. Mukyala mulokole. Mu bigambo bye bingi bye yaŋŋambye. Yagambye, this battle is not for the flesh and blood. Mama Joshua, this battle is for the flesh and blood. And unfortunately, you are speaking to omwana wa Stan. I cannot understand. When you say this battle is not for the flesh and blood, sorry. It is for the flesh and blood because there is no person with the soul and spirit that is going to rape a minor. Ned. Ne Bible yetu gamba, if the hand is causing you to sin, cut it off. We shall cut it off. That is what the Bible says. If your mouth, one of these days, I'm going to cut off my mouth. It's making me to sin. One of these days. If your vagina is making you to sin, if your vagina is making you to sin, please go and stitch it up. Mama wa Joshua, I am sorry. I am not understanding any biblical, not biblical, any evangelical statements you are telling me. And my love, Mommy Joshua, I empathize with you as a parent because I am also a parent. But this is not about Joshua anymore. Gwesabira Katonda abonereza abo abasobya ku mwana wo. Mukwano abasobya ku mwana tubaagala kubanga we are sure bali kutusobeza ku baana baffe. Gwe musabire ekisa kya Mukama.
Tuwulira ddala.
Musabire gwe musabire ekisa. Fete tusobola kumusa. Era mu Abannayuganda mwenna abanda Bahamudale is my friend. Ha mubwalike era nakwata omwana w'omuntu nja mwegaana publicly. Because mbabulira era nawe hamunga ompulira nja kujja waneeno nkukomerere.
Nkumanyi bulungi. Bakunyongera.
This battle is not for the flesh. No, this is for the flesh because the penis is a flesh.
Ateri namu omusaayi, so it's for the flesh and blood. Yes.
Yes.
So this battle is for the flesh and the blood.
Yes.
Musaga.
And this is not about Joshua anymore. Joshua is a whistleblower. Actually, me, I thank him. Tekijja kusoboka.
Nina n'akantu akalasa nkenjala okuyisaawo olw'okuli.
Actually, we want that camp to be investigated with immediate effect.
Ekikigwe?
With immediate effect. But guess what? Even when I have talked about this, even when this is out there in the open to Charina Bana Uganda, abagenda okutwala abana babwe.
Olemwa bulemwa ensi we kutabulira. Ine gwanga yadankana.